Tagalog. I don't know. But give it a warm welcome to Mr. Corey Ball. Plays 6th grade in spelling bee. In 6th grade, he plays in the spelling bee.
It's true. Hi guys, how's everybody feeling? Good. Good to hear, good to hear. So, I'm a man-child. Basically, you know, like on paper, I look like an adult. I do. I mean, like, I do the aging thing pretty well. I've done it successfully every year, you know, right till right now. I mean, you know, fingers crossed. But it's everything else I have a real problem with. You know, the responsibility, the punctuality, the buying of the slacks, you know, the paying of the bills. I am horrible at those things. And you know, I preface this because of that quality, my man-childness, man-childry, being a man-child. My credit score looks like the winning team score of a WNBA game. You know? Ooh, little layup. JK, go Storm, go Storm. No, but you know, before those years of being a man-child, I guess I was a boy child. Ah, that's redundant. I don't know. I was a kid. And to be technical, my first roommate was actually in high school. Long story short, my best friend John Reedy was a legal alien. And, you know, his grandma brought him over as a young kid, and she was like, no, you'd have a better life, I'm not taking you home. She just forgot about the whole, you know, like renewing the visa thing, you know. So you know, he just flew under the radar for a lot of his years, and we got to be really good friends, and I was actually living at my aunt's house in high school, and he got to know my family really well. And because my aunt has like the biggest heart imaginable, one I've ever seen, she decides to adopt him to keep him in the country. And so, you know, he moves in with us, and you know, it was logical for everybody involved that he would move into my room. So it was me and him, two 16-year-old boys in a room, and again, with bunk beds. So yeah, it was a little weird, honestly. John Reed's a super quirky dude, just an odd individual. You know, because we stayed in a room together, we had to kind of coordinate our bedtimes. And so how I knew he was about to fall asleep is he'd be on the phone with his girlfriend, and then he would very cruelly and unceremoniously just break up with her. Just like it would kind of go like this, like, wait, what are you doing? What? Fuck you then, I never liked you anyway, you stupid bitch! Lose my number! And I mean, like, that was like clockwork, and I was like, right on, he's ready to go to bed. We got to turn the lights out. Because, I mean, it was either that, or it was he'd stay up all night practicing his DJing. And, I mean, we were both DJs, but, like, not in the, hey, let's play music for everybody and make them dance. We were more like the selfish, like, hey, make everybody listen to us practice scratching every day and every night and bother the fuck out of everyone. You know, and like at this age, I can appreciate, you know, like scratching can be a fucking annoying sound. I understand that now, you know. It's like rhythmic nails on a chalkboard, or listening to someone get into a wrestling match with a block of styrofoam, you know, just kind of grating. So you know, that said, I would much rather listen to him like drop his girlfriend's self-esteem below zero than have to listen to like the Fader click all night and shit like that. So, you know, with that said, I mean, you know, John Reed was a very odd dude, but he wasn't the only offender in our room. And, you know, and here comes the sex story. But, you know, like, one fateful New Year's Eve around, like, 96, me and my girlfriend at the time thought it would be a very good idea to go to my room and get to know each other, biblically. So, you know, we climb up to my top bunk, you know, penthouse view. And then we do our thing. I did my thing. She was a willing participant in letting me do my thing. It's Let's put it that way. So, you know, we get done and everything, and I start hearing some rustling, and then John emerges out of nowhere, all fake groggy, like, oh man, what time is it? What the fuck, man? And he walks out the door, and I'm like, oh my god, that's like the worst thing you can commit as far as, you know, roommate, young or otherwise. And, you know, I felt really bad, and I got a lot of shit for it, and I know that. But the reality of it is, I was 16. While he was a prisoner of our sex, 3.5 minutes, 4 times. But I was drunk, so maybe it's 2:15, honestly. So he was a prisoner, but it was a very short stay. You'd be happy to know John Reed left the country of his own recognizance, you know, and now has a beautiful family, 2 kids, and became a nurse. And I'm still a man-child, so fuck that guy. So from high school, you'll finish that, and go ahead and fast forward 10 years, I'm in college. And don't try to do the math. I took some me time. Okay? And you know, college is all about roommates, and I had a lot of them. One in particular, we'll call him J. The letter J, not J-A-Y. Okay, let's just keep it, we'll just keep it like quiet like that. And Jay was an interesting dude, actually. If you can picture this with me, picture the guy on the paper towel rolls for Brawny. You know, like this crazy burly lumberjack with the big beard and the plaid shirt. And then picture that guy smoking a lot of weed, loving guns, and being a libertarian. So I mean, that was Jay in a nutshell, you know, like lumberjack, stoner, loved firearms, and laissez-faire governmental systems. You know, that's pretty much Jay. One day, I'm sitting in the living room with some of my roommates, and Jay walks to the living room very purposefully, walks up to the door, puts on these very heavy-duty hiking boots, which wasn't uncommon for him, but reaches down and grabs the axe that we had sitting by the front door. Because like we lived in Ellsberg and it was balls cold, we had to chop wood for fire. And I noticed he had a box of garbage bags in his hand as well. And I'm looking at my roommates like, is it Arbor Day? I really hope it's Arbor Day. I mean, never mind the fact that you're supposed to plant a tree on Arbor Day, not chop one down. But, you know, we just tried to grasp whatever we could. And he looks at us and gives us a salute and walks out the door. And we're like, okay, I don't know what that was. And we go about our day as best as we can. And then late evening, Jay bounds up, whistling, just drenched in mud, just covered in mud with the axe. And I don't think Jay killed somebody that day. I really don't. But the jury's still out on that one. So I'm not terribly sure. But, you know, we all finished college, or we left the town that the college was in. And we got over on this side of things. And my first place out of school, we got the opportunity to stay at this really nice place in Des Moines. Like, down by the water with a wraparound deck, and like, we had no idea why we had this offered to us. There was no reason to give us this apartment. But they did, and we were going to argue with it. And we had some rooms open, and I offered Jay a spot because despite the possible murder, he was very low maintenance and chill guy. And so he moves in. And for the first 6 months, everything is awesome. It's so great and just low key because like we're adults by then. Kinda, and you know, so we had girlfriends and jobs and lives, you know, and so everything was very calm. And then at that 6-month mark, something went awry. I don't know. I mean, someone might have been playing Jumanji in another room. But it was just utter chaos. Like, I would wake up and just see like splintered furniture, like just wood everywhere, and then like flour on the floor. There would be meals in the kitchen, like fully prepared and never eaten, like it was like an offering to the gods or something like that. I didn't know what was going on in that house. One time I walk in the house and I hear my roommates just laughing their asses off in the living room. And I walk in and I see Jay and my other roommate, we'll call him M, Ike, and they're both so stoned. And I see Jay with his BB gun in his hand, like his rifle, like a Red Ryder BB gun, basically. And I noticed across from him in the fireplace there's this box with a target drawn on it. And I realized these dipshits were firing this gun in our house. Like, under our roof, a BB gun firing a gun. And by that point, I was, my what the fuck meter was like off the charts. So, right on, guys. Maybe post like a firing range schedule so we don't get caught. Appreciate it, thank you. But we destroyed the place, by the way. It was bad. I've seen crack houses look better. I don't know what happened there. But we moved out pretty amicably and everything, and at that point I learned that if I was going to be a fucking man-child for the rest of my life, I needed to find a solid roommate. And so I did. My roommate Grant, who I've lived with for the last 3 years, is just a solid dude. Despite a very unnerving obsession with Matt Damon or Jason Bourne, whichever one. It's weird. If I walk in the door and I don't see Matt Damon on the screen, I'm like, what's wrong, dude? You okay? Did the Bourne Ultimatum Blu-ray DVD break? But actually, speaking of, he's about to move on and move over to the east side, and I thought this would be a decent platform, actually. My lease is ending soon, and, I'm kind of looking for a roommate, so, just putting that out there, tall, lanky dude, aspiring to be an aspiring comedian. I just asked if you do move in with me, and you do murder someone, just don't tell me, okay? Just don't tell me. Ignorance is definitely bliss in that situation, and I appreciate it. All right, guys, it's been my time. Appreciate it. Thank you.